Male-female attorney dynamic, always interesting because divorce is such a gendered experience. You represent one side or you represent the other, sometimes a woman, sometimes a man. Do you find that it's easier to represent the same sex for you?
Sometimes yes, but for the most part, no. I think it's equal. I find family law interesting because if you're a plaintiff's attorney in the personal injury forum, you are always on one side. You're never on the defense side. But in family law, you're on both sides of the spectrum. So I don't have an issue with men or women. It doesn't make a difference to me.
And I
Is
find,
one
yeah,
easier than the other? Sometimes yes, but for the most part, I think if you're able to explain to them how the law works, how it's applicable to their facts and their case, then it doesn't really make a difference. I think where the problem is that some attorneys will speak in legal jargon to the clients, and they're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
yeah,
So if
I
you
don't
dumb it
understand.
down to how your little kid would understand it, your first grader, then they'll understand it. It'll be fine. I don't think it really makes a difference. I don't have a preference. I don't care.
Okay. And in your experience in working with female clients as a male attorney, do you find that female clients often look to you as their savior, their Prince Charming, someone who's going to make their ex behave?
I do feel that sometimes, yes. If I don't know how to say this correctly, if it's maybe a female or a woman or a mother who's been in the home for her 20 years of the marriage, just taking care of the kids, hasn't worked outside, doesn't necessarily have a career, she's given up her career, then yes, I see that a lot. But on the flip side of it, if I have a professional female who's been outside, is an attorney or is a doctor or a nurse or someone who's been in the workforce for a very long time, I don't see that happening because they feel independent enough that they can do whatever it is that they want to. But usually the women who have been tending to domestic duties, that does happen, yeah.
And I have noticed that and experienced that often with male attorneys on the other side of a case. And it's hard. And that brings me to a point I want to ask you about females paying spousal support. I tend to struggle with this being a successful female who, if I ever contemplated divorce, might be in a position that I had to pay spousal support. And in my job and in applying the law to the facts, the law does not discriminate, right? You have a husband who's been laid off or a husband who's been a stay at home dad, and the wife is going to be expected to pay spousal support to their spouse. How do you feel about that?